And a good afternoon, everybody. This is indeed the Michael K. Show. And thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. It's December 3rd, 2025. Me and you for two. Those are the rules of engagement. You know the story. You're the co-host. It's the fastest 2 hours in sports talk radio. Thank you so much for joining us. We certainly appreciate it. Sorry I was out yesterday, but I was having a good time. I was having a grand old time yesterday. I was undergoing a colonoscopy, which is always terrific, and I'm glad I got that behind me. Ha, pun intended. I know we have a lot of younger listeners, and maybe you have not undergone the colonoscopy experience yet. The actual colonoscopy, really, you don't even know what's going on. You're out. You're completely out. You have the greatest sleep of your life. But the preparation for it is just dreadful. It's just the worst. And they've changed it from the way it used to be. Because what it used to be was you drank this stanky stuff. It was just awful. It was like cups and cups of chalk. And then that, in turn, made you go to the bathroom a lot, often. And now they've turned it into pills. But you have to take 24 pills over 23 hours. And you have to do it over a certain amount of time. So there's 12 pills that you take in an hour, and it's one pill every 5 minutes. So over 60 minutes, you take the 12 pills, and it involves 16 ounces of water. It's just something else. You would think that in 2025, they'd find a different way to do this. But this is the way they do it. And then they put you out. They put a little camera where the sun doesn't shine, and they find out if everything is okay. And at this point, as far as I know, everything seems okay. So that's why I was out yesterday. You know, I've got to be honest with you people. You're my co-host. So when you're a co-host with somebody, like when I was doing the show with Don and Peter, if I was out, I would tell them why I was out. So I felt that you really should know why I was out. And that's why I was out. But because I was out yesterday, I could not opine on things that were significant to opine on. But I'll do it today. I'll make up some ground, baby, because that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Now, I do have some bad news as we start, because you might be listening to the show on the ESPN New York app. And if you go that far to listen on the ESPN New York app, you might be clicking on the ESPN New York YouTube page because you want to see the Caster. For some reason, it's not happening. It keeps saying establishing connection, so you'll just have to listen to my dulcet tones until we figure out exactly what's going on. So it is not happening video-wise, and I apologize for that. But I know most of you don't tune in to look at me because you know I'm a big-headed looking freak. You just come in to get all the pertinent information that I can hand out to you. So let's start off with the Mets signing of Devin Williams. I don't think it's a bad signing. It's certainly a little bit more than I thought he was going to get. It comes out to $51 million for 3 years. So you do the math, that's $17 million a year. Now, if somebody offered him that, he had become a free agent after his final season in Milwaukee, I'd go, yeah, I get it. Probably a bargain. It's probably a bargain. But he came off a rough season with the Yanks. He lost a closer job twice. He did not seem comfortable at all. Now, I got to give him credit, though. When he went to a setup role for Bednar, I thought he was excellent. Not just good. I thought he was really, really excellent. And when you look inside the numbers at the pitch shapes and stuff like that, he's terrific. His stuff is absolutely filthy. It really is. I mean, his changeup, there's no comparison to any other changeup in baseball. You could call it whatever you want, some, weird little nickname, the Airbender. He's got great stuff. And when he combines it with his 94.5 mile an hour fastball, it's a pretty decent combination. And I think a lot of the things that went wrong with the Yankees is the enormity of the Yankee situation. And ironically enough, the Yankees opened up last year at home against Milwaukee, where they had acquired Devin Williams in a trade. And I was talking to a lot of Milwaukee people, and they go, he's not going to do well here. He's just not. And I said, why? He's great. I mean, he might be one of the best relievers, if not the best reliever in baseball. They said he doesn't have the mindset for this. And if you remember, that first game, he almost blew the opener, and he got booed. And, a Milwaukee announcer came up to me and said, all the years he ever pitched in Milwaukee, he never got booed once. He just got booed in the first game that he's playing at Yankee Stadium. He said, this is not going to go well. And you know what? For a while, like he was right, it didn't go well. Lost the closer role, regained it, lost it again, became a setup guy, and I thought he was really, really good down the stretch. So no complaints about that. Now, I think what the Mets did with this acquisition is they gave themselves some leverage when it comes to Edwin Diaz. Now, obviously, I don't think the money spigot turns off when it comes to Steve Cohen. But David Stearns is going to operate this in a way that you're not going to be a profligate spender. You're going to spend what you have to spend and according to the market. And if Edwin Diaz, at the age of 32, wants a 5-year contract, I don't know if David Stearns is going to want to give it to him. So by getting Devin Williams, you give yourself some cover. Now, Devin Williams is not as good as Edwin Diaz, but you'd also have to say, is Edwin Diaz going to be Edwin Diaz in 2 or 3 years? Because Edwin Diaz has had some bad years in there as well, and then he's had tremendous, tremendous years otherwise. This is a guy you want. He's a top reliever on the market. But if Edwin Diaz was going to hold the Mets up for 5 years, $100 million, which is a contract that he opted out of, the Mets now have the ability to say no, and they could pursue others. They could pursue Robert Suarez. They could pursue Pete Fairbanks. They might make a roll of the dice with Kenley Jansen. But they have some cover now because of Devin Williams. Now, I don't think that there was ever a possibility that Devin was going to re-sign with the Yankees. Not because he didn't want to. Because I think that as the season wore on, he became much more comfortable with what being a Yankee was. And even said at the end of the year, when the Yankees were eliminated by the Blue Jays, that he would like to come back. He really enjoyed his time here. His family enjoyed his time here. But I'll give you one quick scenario that happened. It must have been maybe early August. The Yankees were on the road. And I will not betray a confidence by telling you who I was talking to. But it was somebody, it was uniformed personnel. So I was talking to that person outside. It was not in the clubhouse. And I saw Devin Williams come out of the tunnel into the dugout, and he was laughing uproariously at something. And I said to the person I was talking to, I said, wow, he's in a good mood. And the person kind of waved derisively and said, we never know what mood this guy's going to be in. He said it's a crapshoot every day. If he's in a bad mood, if he's in a good mood, we have no idea. So that gave me an inkling right there. That was not a marriage that was going to last a long time. It just wasn't. I think that he also, and we used to always talk about this on the afternoon show, that when the Yankees finally remove their hair and beard policy, it better not be because of a player that didn't want to cut his hair or shave his beard. Because then all the focus would be on that guy, that he made the Yankees get rid of this quaint long-term rule that they had. Now, no one has ever come out and said that Devin Williams was the reason that they lifted the rule, but he played a role in it. Nobody even said that, but I know for a fact that in spring training, he did what he was supposed to do. He shaved his beard, and he made it known that he was very uncomfortable doing that he wanted to have a beard. And then in spring training, there's different stories about how it went down, but Hal Steinbrenner lifted that rule. And most fans correctly assumed that it was Devin. And I think that put a lot of pressure on him and heat that maybe wasn't deserved. I've always said, Don used to say it as well, that if you're going to lift the rule in the middle of the winter, and there can't be a finger pointed at somebody. Oh, we lost that rule because of you. Most people assumed that Devin Williams played a role. But I give Devin Williams credit. Devin Williams never, ever said, I'm not shaving my beard. He said he was uncomfortable, but he still did shave it. And I think that brought it to light. Is this a rule that has legs? Can it really exist for a long time? It had existed, for as long as George Steinbrenner on the team, which was in 1973. I think it was kept around out of respect to Steinbrenner, and the family kept it around. And I think Hal just realized that, it's 2025. We're going to be competing with teams that, they don't care if you have tattoos on your face. If you could play, we're going to sign you and we're going to trade for you. And the Yankees could not be left out on a player because of this quaint rule. But again, most people pointed at Devin Williams. Now, Yankee Stadium crowd never really got around to loving Devin Williams. At the end, he got cheered because he pitched very, very well in big situations. And a lot of people didn't like him. And I got to tell you, just on a personal basis, I thought he was terrific. I mean, I didn't have a great, outgoing relationship with him, but I didn't have a bad relationship with him. And I thought that he handled himself very, very well. I thought that he answered all the questions. He took all the heat. Sometimes it took him a while to come out when he had a bad outing, but he came out. He never ducked the media, and he answered every single question. He asked it the right way, or answered it the right way. And one day I walked up to him, I said, you know what? The way you handled the media yesterday, he had blown a game. I said, that's kind of a master class on how to do it in the city. He said, yeah, they'll come after me anyway. So I think he had that defeatist attitude, but there was one game where he pitched a great eighth inning. He might have struck out the side. And the crowd gave him a standing ovation. And, he noted it, and he said it felt better. It felt better than what it felt, at the beginning of the year. So, long story short, I don't think it's a bad signing by the Mets. And I also hear people go, well, if he's closing for the Mets, that's really trouble. Well, why is it trouble? The guy was one of the best closers in baseball when he was in Milwaukee. He's got phenomenal stuff. If they can't sign Diaz, and Diaz is asking for an exorbitant amount of money and a longer-term deal than they want to give him, so what? Now you've got a closer. And if you want to, broaden your scope and look at a Suarez or something like that, then you could do that. But if it comes down to, okay, Devin Williams is a closer, you're going to tell me the Mets are in terrible shape? No. The guy proved by the end of the year that he could actually do the job in New York. And the fact that he re-upped in New York, although a different team with the Mets, shows you that he did like it here, and his wife did like it here. So I wish him good luck. I think the Mets actually made a good signing. I really do. And I don't blame the Yankees for not bringing him back. I don't think they liked the vibe that he brought. Because he was a little bit moody. They didn't know what guy they were going to get on a day-to-day basis. And it turns out that I don't even think they were in on it. I mean, they might have checked in, but I don't think they ever made him an offer. So he goes to a different clubhouse with a different level of pressure. Not that Met fans are going to be easy on him, but Yankee fans could be a little bit tough. Now, another story that came out, and this was kind of over the weekend, where Mike Puma does such a good job covering the Mets for the Post, wrote a story about how Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor didn't seem like they got along that well, and Lindor certainly didn't get along with McNeil. All well and good. But the thing that stood out for me in the story was that, and I knew that this had to be the case because there were quotes from Juan toward the end of the year where he was raving about the leadership of Starling Marte. He said he's the real captain. Now, there is no captain in the Mets right now, no titular captain. But the bottom line is everybody thinks that Francisco Lindor is the non-titled captain or the eventual captain. But the fact that Soto went out of his way to say how great Sterling Marte is. He said he's the real captain of the team. I took that as meaning, well, Soto doesn't seem like he's really that much in love with Lindor, and that's okay. I mean, the Oakland A's won 3 championships in a row in the 70s. They all hated each other's guts. And the Yankees won 2 titles in 77 and 78, and there was not exactly a love fest. I mean, Reggie didn't have that many friends on that Yankee team other than Fran Healy, so he was not beloved. And, there was clashing between Reggie and Thurman. But baseball's a sport. You're not throwing passes to somebody. You do your job, you let them do their job, and if you hate each other's guts, it works out, and you could win. But the one thing that jumped out at me from the story that Puma wrote was the reason that Soto doesn't really get along that well with Lindor is Lindor is fun-loving. Always joking around, laughing, whatever the case may be. He's into fashion, all of that. And Soto is very, very serious. Wants to come to the ballpark, prepare, do his job, none of the bells and whistles, doesn't care about fashion, anything like that. Very serious, baseball-minded guy who just wants to play ball, prepare to play ball, and has a way that he prepares to be great. And he doesn't look at Lindor the same way. And here's the thing, and it comes down to when people say it's not about the money, as George Young used to say, it's about the money. Like, I laughed when Lane Kiffin in his press conference said, I don't even know what I'm making. I told my agent, don't even tell me what I'm making. Okay, I'll play along, Lane. You don't care what you're making at LSU. You don't care. So if they offered you $4 million a year and Ole Miss offered you 12, you'd have gone to LSU because LSU, provides you better NIL and you just think, a better vibe there. Oh, okay. Again, people in the public eye lie to us all the time. And it's our job to try to dissect the lie and find out, if they are in fact lying. But here's what I want to say about Soto. The Yankees historically have always been an incredibly buttoned-up organization. I have a line where I say, it's so apropos that they wear pinstripes. Because, all the big guys on Wall Street or wherever, they wear pinstripe suits. Yankees wear pinstripes. They're very buttoned up. It's very corporate. It's very businesslike. It's not a laugh a minute. Now, I think it's a little bit looser than it used to be, but it's a very serious endeavor from the top to the bottom. That's just the way the place is run. You walk into Citi Field, and it's just got a looser vibe. It does. It just has a looser vibe, and it's always been known as, they're fun. They joke around. They have the OMG and whatever. And it's not a knock. It's just a different feel. But Soto, knowing who Soto is, decided to take the better offer to go to a place that is known as being looser and more loosey-goosey than the place that he left. Because if he was really, going to choose the place that's best suited for a guy who doesn't want distraction, doesn't want the joking around, just wants to prepare for his game, wouldn't the play have been for him to stay with the Yankees? So he goes to the place that's more loosey-goosey, and now, according to Puma's report, he's not all that into that. He just wants to play baseball. He wants to be great. He wants to be the greatest player that he could be. Doesn't it sound a little odd that you choose the Mets, though, over the Yankees? Just saying. Doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't make sense. 1-800-919-3776. That's the number. We are going to talk about the Joe Schoen press conference from yesterday as well. Knicks lost a game to the Celtics. They continue to struggle on the road. They're 3-6. Jalen Brunson had one of the worst games he's had as a Knick. He was dreadful yesterday. Not ripping him. People are going to have bad games. And he had one yesterday. Missed 13 of 17 shots. He was 1 of 8 from three-point land. And the Knicks pulled to within 3 with 2:40 remaining. But when their big gun couldn't do it, They couldn't win. Mikal Bridges played very well. He had 35 points. He looked tremendous. So the Knicks had their 4-game win streak snapped. They will play again tonight, so back-to-backs, and we'll see how they respond to that. 1-800-919-3776. That's the number. And now it's time for the co-host to join in. And we'll start off with a longtime co-host, Moose in Jamaica. Moose.
What's going on, Michael? Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
Can't complain. All is well.
Good.
So, yeah, remember on your previous iteration of the Michael K. Show, I told you, Don, and Peter that in solidarity with the Yankees, as much as I love to let my beard grow and grow my hair, with every haircut every month, I trim the beard to like a light 5 o'clock shadow, go with the mustache like the 70 Yankees, Reggie Jackson, all those dudes. Just to be like, I'm an old school, old soul, sort of. I'm going to go with that look and do that until the season's done, yada, yada. Right?
Okay.
So when it came to the beard policy changing, I grew my beard like some of the Yankees, Jason Dominguez, I guess Austin Wells when he goes in a struggle. You notice it. Sometimes players will shave their beard when they struggle or let it grow when they're doing well at the plate. They're superstitious.
All right, Moose, land the plane. What are you getting to?
So when it comes to the whole idea of the beard policy changing because of one player, I don't think Hal did it for one player. I think it was to move the organization forward to allowing the players to express themselves so they can feel more comfortable when performing. I think that was the bigger picture in mind as opposed to signing a player or not signing a player. It's more about the players we have or the players coming up.
I'm not saying
feeling more
Moose,
comfortable.
I'm not saying, and boy, a very verbose co-host today. I'm not saying that it was specific to Devin Williams, but he was part of it. I laugh at that nonsense. And let players express themselves. They went to the World Series the previous year. Did they express themselves properly then when they weren't allowed to have beards? You need a beard to express yourself properly? Johnny Damon got his hair cut and his beard shaved when he became a Yankee. Oh, yeah, they won a championship in 2009. Randy Johnson, who used that long hair as part of an intimidation tactic his whole career, got his hair cut really short when he came to the Yankees. Jason Giambi, the same thing. Nonsense. I think it was spurred by Devin Williams making it known that he was not comfortable. He did it, though. That's why I don't blame Devin Williams. I think that was the tipping point. That was the tipping point where the Yankees said there might be an issue here moving forward. But please don't tell me about expressing themselves. It makes me throw up in my mouth. It really does. They all were well kept and shaven and haircut in 2024, and they went to Game 5 of the World Series. So in order to get those extra 3 wins, they needed to grow beard. How'd the beards work out last year for them? How? How'd it work out? Not that great. They got eliminated by the Blue Jays with their beards and their long hair. Nonsense. Come on. Every walk of life, every job, there's certain ways that you have to comport yourself. There's certain ways that you have to groom yourself. There just are. And if you don't want to do it, then you don't do it. The problem is that in baseball, you have choices. You could go someplace where they actually will allow you to do that. And that's what the Yankees had a way. But express yourself. People express themselves because they have a beard or long hair. Let's go to Rob in Brooklyn. Rob.
Hey, Michael.
How you doing?
Good. To me, it doesn't make sense why this would be an issue with Soto and Lindor. Like, I'm wildly different than a lot of my friends. We get along just fine. I don't get why you can't just both have your own methods. One guy likes to have fun. One guy likes to be a little bit more serious. And you both just go be good baseball players. Why does it have to?
But Rob, that's a great point, and I think that's exactly what happened. And the story, it was like they were not tight. Doesn't mean that they hated each other's guts, but they weren't tight.
All right, that's good that they don't hate each other. It just seems like, it's like you don't have the ability to be flexible and let somebody be the person that they are so that they can perform. You know what I mean? Like, they just need to just play baseball with each other. It'll be fine.
I thought the more problematic thing, Rob, was between McNeil and Lindor. I mean, that seemed to be a real agitation. A couple of years prior, they allegedly fought over something. And then, according to Puma, they butted heads again. But in terms of, it wasn't even a throwaway line, but it was a part of the story that, Soto and Lindor they're not kindred spirits. But the whole story, if it's true, and I trust Mike Puma, you left a place that is exactly the way you want to be. Buttoned up, businesslike, all baseball, no nonsense, no silly little traditions or anything like that, no grimace, nothing like that, no OMG, no Timmy Trumpet. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But he knew that was part of the Mets. The Mets have always been the looser, younger brother to the Yankees. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, those Jeter teams that won those championships, that was one of the reasons that they brought in CeCe. Because they felt that it was too buttoned up and that players weren't loose enough and it was too corporate. And CeCe obviously did a great job. First year that he's there, they won a title in 2009. But still, he can only move the needle so much. Everything about the Yankees is a corporate structure. It's a very serious endeavor. I know it's sports, but it's serious. With the Mets, it's looser. So my point is, if Soto is against that, then why go there? Why didn't you just stay at a place that almost seems like it was designed specifically for you? All about baseball, nothing extraneous. Go in, scouting reports, extra BP, coaches are there all day, work their butts off, whatever the case may be. You choose to leave that place to go to a place that doesn't seem like it fits your profile. That's what's odd to me. That's what didn't quite click. 1-800-919-3776. That's the number. We have so much to do today. Again, I want to involve you. So I hope that you could join us. Again, 1-800-919-3776. Joe Schoen with a press conference yesterday. We'll break that down as well. Mike Lupica at 2:30 because it's Wednesday. It's the K Show rolling on here live on ESPN New York.
Wednesday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Will anyone in the Giants regime survive into next year?
And obviously that was the case with what was going on with, what happened with Vrabel when he was down in Tennessee as opposed to what's happening within the New England right now, because the Giants have to try and figure out a way to get that kind of result, get that kind of chemistry, get that kind of synergy going within the walls of that building with whoever is going to be the head coach in 2026.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2025. Last chance! Donate now for a 2025 tax deduction.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same-day or next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SamwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Dave Rothenberg here to tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. They converted my kid's bath to a shower and did an incredible job. They offer custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit, and it's done in just one day. It's durable and easy to clean with no demo or mess and a lower cost than a standard replacement. Take advantage of the biggest sale of the entire year. Save up to $800 on a complete Bathfitter system. See their website or call for details and start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com.
For over 100 years, Slomin's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, we deliver more than just quality fuel. We deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, 24/7 service, and up to 30 days to pay your invoice. Our dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Slomin's, New York and New Jersey's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving our community for generations. Give us a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomins.com.
Every aspect of your business will operate better and faster with artificial intelligence. AI is a race, and companies that act first will win. Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. Thrive partners with you on a smart, secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Be first and win the race with Thrive Managed AI. Start with a complimentary strategy consultation at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
Some stages celebrate. This one tests everything. Every drive, every approach, every putt. Pressure builds. Resilience matters. And history waits for the bold. In June, the 2026 U.S. Open Championship returns to the Hamptons at the iconic Shinnecock Hills Golf Club. Experience the world's best golfers competing on one of the sport's most storied stages. Don't just watch greatness, experience it live at the 126th U.S. Open. Daily tickets are available now on SeatGeek.
The holidays are rolling in, and if men in your life are struggling with their holiday wish list, tell them to add Manscaped to make gift-giving easy, fun, and completely stress-free this year. From the beard hedger to the lawnmower trimmer, Manscaped's precision tools keep you looking sharp, feeling confident, and ready for every event and celebration all season long. These aren't just stocking stuffers, they're upgrades for your daily routine. And right now at Target, you can save 20% on the Lawnmower 4 and 3 kits, Handyman, and the Beard Hedger. Hurry up, supplies won't last long.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network so you can talk college football with your BFF while taking Buster to the vet.
Hey, yeah, I can't believe he ate the whole thing of chicken wings.
And I can't believe we're staging a comeback. Touchdown! Yes!
Staying connected matters. That's why in the rare event of a network outage, you'll automatically get a bill credit for a full day's service. For wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers, must be connected to impacted tower at onset of outage. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for full details.
Welcome back to the show. Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 7 p.m., Devils host the Stars at the Prudential Center. Alan LaGreca will be on the call. 7:30, the Knicks host the Hornets at Madison Square Garden. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. That'll be right here on 880 ESPN. And 8 p.m., the Nets are in Chicago to play the Bulls, and that game will be on Yes. Speaking of Yes, by the way, our first Hot Stove show tonight, me, Bob Lorenz, and Jack Curry, and special guest in studio, for those that want to tune in, we go on at 6:30, will be Cam Schlittler. How about that? So Cam will be in studio with us, the Hot Stove Show on Yes, first one of the year. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glass up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Let's go back to the phones. Let's go to Jose in Connecticut. Jose, talk to us.
Hey, how you doing, sir? One thing I just want to say, I think that this whole story is a little overblown. I'm going to tell you why, because this whole thing about Soto not liking, the Lindor, his playfulness and all this, it was actually Marte who really broke him out of his shell, and he called a leader. And Marte's one of also the biggest playful guys who got him to get out of the shell, which I think he appreciated. So if he hated that style so much, why does he love Marte so much, right? And obviously with the whole McNeil and Lindor thing, they had a fist fight and still played well after, although I do agree for baseball reasons McNeil should leave. But Mike, I just want to ask you two quick things. First, I think it's not a coincidence that this came out when Nimmo left. We know Nimmo is the one that wanted to be the captain.
Right.
And number two, do you think that most of this is also probably because while the Mets were winning and being all playful, he was really struggling, and I know that really affected him. So I don't know if you think that played a part in his frustration with the team and maybe Lindor.
Well, wait, whose frustration, Nimmo or Soto's?
Oh, Soto, because when the Mets were winning and playing and being very playful and having a great time, he was really struggling, and that's when he really wasn't comfortable, right? It wasn't until he started playing better that you start seeing him coming out and being more playful and joining in the pictures.
I think, Jose, what we're doing is we're misinterpreting, playful. He had, the Yankees have fun in the dugout. They go up and down the, dugout when somebody hits a home run, whatever the case may be. I think it's behind the closed doors where Soto wants to lock in, doesn't want joking around, anything like that, doesn't want any distractions, extraneous nonsense. He wants to lock in on being a great player. And although Soto started off slowly for Soto, let's remember one thing. Through everything, he was the number 3 finisher in the MVP. Number 3. He had a great year. And he's going to continue to have great years with the Mets. He just is. And even if players don't get along, that's not why the Mets didn't make the playoffs. Mets didn't make the playoffs simply because of the fact their pitching went south. Their starting pitching was awful. Their bullpen was awful. Just was. Wasn't because Soto and Lindor didn't hang out together. But it's just something that Puma, pointed out. I think at the beginning of the year with Soto, he was adjusting to a new situation. He was just adjusting. And it took him a while. And he still finished 3rd in the MVP voting. 3rd. So Juan Soto is one of the least problems that the Mets have, if it's a problem at all. I don't think it's a problem at all. They'll always love the fact that they signed this guy. Let's go to Kevin in New Jersey. Kevin. Hello, Kev.
Hey, how's it going, Michael?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. First-time caller. Big fan of yours.
Oh, thank you, man. Thanks for calling.
Listen, I have a question and it just doesn't really make much sense to me. Given that Howe is already kind of acknowledged that he doesn't want to go over a $300 million budget, given we still don't even have an outfielder, how does that affect our bullpen now? Because, we didn't tender a lot, they non-tendered a lot of guys. So won't that affect, don't you think we would go over? Or don't you think that would affect?
Kevin, he said it would be ideal for them to be under 300. Ideal. They're going to be over 300. They're not going to be able to put together a team that's going to be as good as last year's team that won 94 games unless they go over 300. I mean, that's all there is to it. So they're at 279 now. So let's say that they sign Bellinger. Probably going to be $25 to $30 million a year. Boom, they're over 300. They're going to go over 300. He never said that they were going to be under. He said it would be ideal. It would be ideal. It would be ideal for my wife if I look like George Clooney. I don't. So it would be ideal for them to get under that final threshold. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the milk is out of the udder. The horse is out of the barn. The toothpaste is out of the tube. You're not going to get it back in. It's going to be hard to reset. You have too many big contracts on that team in order to put a full-fledged team out there with an under $300 million payroll. You got the money that you're paying Cole, Rodon, Fried, Judge, Stanton, now $22 million on Grisham. It's impossible. It's impossible to be under 300 and field the team as good as last year. It just is. Frederick in Savannah. Frederick.
Hey, Michael. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it.
I was listening to you. I really agree with you on the beard rule. And I have a Yankee jersey, and when I put it on, I walk out, and I feel like $1 million. And I'm curious as to whether you think that certain players will put on that jersey and just expect the wins to fall in their lap.
Well, I don't think that it's kind of a magic talisman. I mean, they're players that, even if they didn't grow up Yankee fans, you see them put on that uniform for the first time and they kind of look at it and they, there's a special thing to it. But it doesn't mean that you just automatically go out there and win championships. If that's the case, then that uniform has not had the magic in it for 16 years. I think that there are players that just, it's a special history that this organization has. And there's a special feeling to it. But I don't think that people put on the uniform and think, well, I'm going to automatically win because I'm a New York Yankee or I'm wearing these, pinstripes and, the interlocking NY on the left chest. No name on the back, of course. They're not thinking that. It's kind of an odd question, Frederick. I don't think anybody thinks that. I mean, that's almost intimating that they don't try. They just think, well, there's going to be a magic elixir that, boom, they put on the uniform, they're going to automatically win. No, that's not the way it works. Not the way it works. 1-800-919-3776. When we get back, I want to talk about when you're represented by an agent or an agency. And the misconception, and I found this a lot in all walks of life where there's agents, people represent other people. The agent works for you. You do not work for the agent. I'll tell you what I mean when we get back, right here on the K Show on ESPN New York.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
The holidays are here, and Amazon Pickup is your MVP of package pickup. Need that perfect gift like a brand new jersey for the big game? With Amazon Pickup, you can grab your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule at no extra cost. It's fast, it's easy, and it keeps your holiday surprises tucked safely away. So whether you're running from work or heading to the holiday party, Amazon Pickup makes holiday shopping worry-free. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at Amazon.com/PickupMVP. That's Amazon.com/PickupMVP.
Bet 360. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply.
Dave Rothenberg here to tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. They converted my kid's bath to a shower and did an incredible job. They offer custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit, and it's done in just one day. It's durable and easy to clean with no demo or mess and a lower cost than a standard replacement. Take advantage of the biggest sale of the entire year. Save up to $800 on a complete Bathfitter system. See their website or call for details and start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood.
Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
Audiences and top critics are celebrating. Rental Family is the perfect feel-good movie of the year.
What do you need me for? We need a token white guy.
Academy Award winner Brendan Fraser delivers a masterful performance.
This girl needs a father.
I hate you.
She hates me. That's what being a parent is.
In this tender and funny film about the importance of connection.
This is amazing.
It's cool, but it's fake.
Sometimes it's okay to pretend.
Rental Family, now playing only in theaters. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13.
ESPN New York is throwing a holiday party you don't want to miss. Join us Friday, December 12th at your mother's house in Garden City Park. We'll be broadcasting the Michael K. Show live from 1 to 3, followed by Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg from 3 to 7, all while supporting a great cause. Bring a toy to benefit the Garden of Dreams Foundation and help make the season brighter for local kids in need. It's the ESPN New York Holiday Party, Friday, December 12th, brought to you by Spike Day, Security Dodge, Amazon Pickup, and ESPN New York.
So we've been talking a lot about the Lane Kiffin situation, and I just think that the Kiffin story is just the tip of the iceberg of what's wrong with college sports. But there have been a number of ESPN personalities that have had a certain take on the Kiffin situation, and in explanation, the people that talk about what's talked about on ESPN, well, they just rationalize, well, these people are represented by the agency CAA, which is an extraordinarily powerful agency in Hollywood and also in sports. And so guys like Kirk Herbstreit and Nick Saban, I believe, are represented by Jimmy Sexton, who works for CAA or represented by CAA. And they had certain takes that didn't align with the takes of most people. So rather than just say, well, their take is different, everybody has to try to connect the dots and say, well, they're represented by CAA. So, of course, they're going to, lean toward being positive toward a CAA client. I don't get it. Now, I can't tell you that's why their opinion was what it was or not. I give people the benefit of the doubt because every time I have an opinion about the Yankees, people that don't agree with the opinion, their knee-jerk reaction would be, well, he's only saying that because he's the Yankee announcer, rather than saying, maybe he really believes that. And that's okay. Rules of engagement, I've gone through it for years. I get it. I understand. But to say that Kirk Herbstreit feels a certain way because he's rep by CAA, I mean, really, could you insult somebody more? Well, why would he care? He's represented by CAA. They negotiate his contract with ESPN or with Amazon. That doesn't mean that he has to align with everything and everyone that they represent. It's insulting to him. It really is. Now, other people are saying about Nick Saban, well, he's represented by the very powerful Jimmy Sexton, who's the agent that represents Lane Kiffin. And that Sexton works for CAA. Well, there's only one thing that I would disagree strongly about with Nick Saban, and I have some receipts. And Kirk Herbstreit felt the same way, that Kiffin should have been allowed to continue to coach at Ole Miss as they go through the college football playoffs. And I give the committee credit, by the way. They actually moved them up in the rankings after they won the Egg Bowl. Good for them. They're 6, so they didn't penalize the players because of the fact that Lane Kiffin left for LSU. But Saban was the guy who felt that Kiffin should be allowed to do his thing and continue to coach them while being the head coach of LSU. I think it's laughable. And the reason why I scratch my head with what Nick Saban said, Nick Saban was the head coach at Alabama. And Lane Kiffin was the offensive coordinator for that team. And they were going to the national championship game. And Lane Kiffin, he took the job at Florida Atlantic. And Nick Saban let him go. If you want to use the word fire, go for it. It would apply, because this before the national championship game, because he was distracted. He was late for meetings and events. He was the offensive coordinator, team going to play in the national championship game, not just the college football playoffs, the actual national championship game. Nick Saban couldn't have it, so he fired him and let him go take the job at Florida Atlantic. But Nick Saban now wants Lane Kiffin to be able to coach Ole Miss while he's the head coach at LSU. Doesn't make sense. If he was distracted because he was the head coach going to be the head coach at Florida Atlantic, and he was the offensive coordinator, not even the head coach, why would he not be distracted being the head coach of essentially two teams? Make that make sense for me. And another guy at ESPN that had a very strong take on it was Rex Ryan. And, Rex said Lane Kiffin's allowed to do whatever he wants, and then he rips players because players could come and go as they please. But isn't that kind of bass-ackwards? Lane Kiffin came and went as he pleased. Now players have the same rights as coaches. Imagine that. Imagine that. They have the same rights as coaches. But people that actually have coached for a living, of course they take the side of coaches, but they don't see that the players should have the same rights. Coaches used to do this all the time. And people go, well, it's a little different because they have to pay they don't have to pay the buyout. Coach doesn't have to pay the buyout. The team that's hiring that coach has to pay the buyout to the other school. So coaches went back and forth with impunity. They didn't have to sit out when they transferred. And when people go, well, you shouldn't pick a school because of a coach. Nonsense. If you're an athlete that has professional aspirations, you go to the school with the coach that you think helps you best to get to those professional aspirations. You don't go because the place has a good set of Bunsen burners in their science department. So you chose a school because of a coach, and he can up and leave whenever he wants. Oh, now the horror that players could do that. And I'm not on the side of either, because I think the system stinks. It's broken. It's a joke. It shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be allowed to go back and forth whenever you want. You should have to make a commitment. Make a commitment. This is what I want to do. I'm signing here. If you're a player, take the money from them, but you got to sign a contract. You got to sign at least a 2-year deal, a 3-year deal, something like that. The way it is now, they're all signing 1-year deals, which tells you that they don't even have to go to class. They don't have to go to class at all. So for Rex Ryan to say, well, he's doing this because players should come and go as they please, so can coaches. That's always been the case with coaches. The players are just now catching up. Just now, they are catching up. The hypocrisy is amazing. It's amazing. Up and down the line. But I'm just saying, all of these people that have these opinions that I might not agree with, I'm not going to sit back and go, they have these opinions because they're bought and paid for by an agency. Why? The agency works for them. It's not the other way around. They don't work for the agency. So yeah, I disagree with Nick Saban. I think it's hypocritical because he actually canned Lane Kiffin for the exact reason that he wants Ole Miss to keep him. Hypocritical, but I'm not saying he's doing it because Jimmy Sexton is his agent. And Kirk Herbstreit felt that Kiffin should be allowed to remain coach through the college. I don't agree with Kirk, but I'm not going to insult him by saying that the only reason he has that opinion is because the people that negotiated his contract are the same people that negotiated the contract for Sexton. Why? Why would you be beholden to them? Again, you employ them. They work for you. Not the other way around. I've never understood that. how players sometimes are beholden to agents as if they're working for the agent. No. The agent is actually a parasite. And I hate to say it, but they're taking 10% of your money for nothing other than the time they get in to negotiate your deal. But if an agent comes in and negotiates a 5-year deal for you, right? So they might put in that work going back and forth, getting the right numbers, putting the stuff down on paper. So the billable hours, if they were just a lawyer, even if it's 20 hours, 30 hours, they're getting 10% of all the money you earn over the next 5 years. And they are gone. They're pretty much out of the picture after they do that contract. That's why they're ticks. Doesn't make them bad people, but that's what they are. They're not doing the work to get the money. They're getting 10% of your money because they spent 20 hours negotiating your contract. And now I'm supposed to be beholden to them? Not the way I think. I don't think that any of these people at ESPN think that way either. But that, again, people want to connect the dots all the time. Oh, he has that opinion because he has the same agent. No, stop it. I don't have an agent anymore. You know who my agent is? Me. Why should I give 10% of my money to anybody at this stage of my career? I know everybody I'm negotiating with. I know the people that I work for. I negotiate my deals with them alone. But I've had agents before, and I've criticized people that came out of their agency, and I never had a repercussion. I never had a phone call and go, hey, you better stop that. That guy's part of our agency. Never. And if they did it, I say, well, now you're fired. You don't tell me what to do. You work for me. I don't work for you. So I am not going to insult Nick Saban, Kirk Herbstreit. I don't even know if Rex Ryan is represented by Sexton. I'm not sure. Because they have different opinions than the ones I have. I'm not going to say, oh, they only have that opinion because they're bought and paid for. That's an insult of the highest level. But Nick, you got rid of Kiffin for the exact reason that you're saying that Ole Miss should keep him. Make it make sense. ESPN New York Holiday Party, it's back. I think you've heard this, right? This show, The Michael Kay Show, and Don Hahn and Rosenberg are bringing the holiday cheer at your mother's house in Garden City Park, Long Island. That's on Friday, December 12th. We're once again collecting unwrapped toy donations this year to benefit the Garden of Dreams Foundation. All kicks off at 1 p.m. on Friday, December 12th at your mother's house. It's going to be a great time, and it's brought to you by Amazon Pickup, Security Dodge, and Spiked Aid. 1-800-919-3776. That's the number. And when we come back, we'll talk about Joe Schoen's press conference yesterday. Doesn't really feel, I don't know if you guys feel differently, doesn't feel like it's a sure thing that he's going to be back as the GM of the Giants next year. We'll talk about it, the K Show, right here on ESPN New York.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Gotham City football is coming. Be at MetLife Stadium for Week 14 as the New York Jets face the Miami Dolphins for the team's first ever rivalries game on Sunday, December 7th at 1 p.m., presented by Avery Dennison. Fans in attendance will receive a Rivalries rally towel while supplies last. Lock in your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. Once again, that's nyjets.com/tickets.
Whether you're shopping, gaming, or streaming this Black Friday season, don't take slow for an answer. Get Optimum Fiber for the fastest, most reliable, and most consistent internet speeds. Starting at $25 a month. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com to switch. Act now and get a full year of Netflix, an unlimited mobile line, a $400 prepaid card, and more, all on us. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Optimum, don't take slow for an answer. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
New York Presbyterian treats more heart patients than any other hospital in New York. From common to complex conditions, our cardiologists and heart surgeons are pioneers in advanced heart care, leading the way in minimally invasive treatments for faster recovery times. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital based on U.S. News and World Report 2025 to 2026 Cardiology, Heart, and Vascular Surgery rankings.
1480 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Alan Hahn here to tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. They remodeled a bath in my house, converting a tub into a shower. The result, amazing. Bath Fitter offers custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, durable with no demo, no mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement. Take advantage of their biggest sale of the year. Save up to $800 on a complete Bath Fitter system. See their website or call for details and start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com.
For over 100 years, Slomin's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, we deliver more than just quality fuel. We deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, 24/7 service, and up to 30 days to pay your invoice. Our dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Slomin's, New York and New Jersey's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving our community for generations. Give us a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomins.com.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Welcome back to the show. Mike Lupica at 2:30. All right, so yesterday Joe Schoen, the GM of the Giants, spoke. It's one of the most ridiculous and hackneyed traditions in football, and they're allowed to get away with it. Well, the GM only talks on the bye week. What? Why? Who made that rule? Who died and made you media god? It's amazing to me that yesterday is the first day that Joe Schoen spoke when his coach was fired 3 weeks ago, and he didn't have to say a word. It's amazing. But they say, we only speak week of the bye week. So Giant bye week is late, and you have to wait till now to have the GM speak about a season that's unspeakable, by the way. Baseball's just different. Something happens with the Yankees. Brian Cashman is always available. Something happens with the Mets. David Stern speaks about it. But football, just above and beyond any reproach. Although, Leon Rose says, hold my beer. He has not spoken in years. And again, it's allowed to happen. The league allows it to happen. Fans don't care, so I'm not going to waste my breath. Because fans will go, who cares that they don't talk to you? But remember, everybody, those that are saying that right now as they're listening to this, that means they're not talking to you. That means they don't care what you think. They don't care about giving you the information about what's happening with the team that you love. Has nothing to do with the media. They are spitting in your face. Anyway, beside the point, Joe Schoen speaks. And, he took some accountability for what's going on. But I get the feeling that he knows that his position is tenuous at best. There's no guarantee he's going to be back. The wording of John Mara's release when they got rid of Dable made it seem that Schoen was safe and he was going to run point to look for the next head coach. I get the feeling that's slipping away if it ever was that at all. Because let's just look at numbers. We're all into numbers, right? There's an era of numbers. Since he became the GM of the Giants, they're 20-43-1. 20-43-1. 20-43-1. They're 5-20 in their last 25 games. This guy put the team together. It's the guy who put the team together. He spent $215 million in free agent money during the offseason. How's that worked out? How's it worked out? Then you look at all the money that the Patriots spent, and they highlighted it on the Monday night game. That worked out. Those players contributed. That team's been turned around. Now, they have a great coach. They found the perfect coach for the team, and they happen to have an excellent quarterback as well. But it's hard for Joe Schoen to flash his resume and go, yeah, he's got to come back. Yeah, let's have this disparity. He'll hire another coach, and then if they have another bad year, then they'll fire the GM, and then they'll bring in a GM who inherits a coach that he didn't hire. Yeah, that works out. And that works out. How'd it work out with Adam Gase and Joe Douglas? How'd it work out with Idzik and Ryan? It doesn't work out. You've got to keep them together. I'm not saying that Schoen had to be fired when Brian Dable was fired, because, I mean, somebody's got to run the shop, right? They're not making any trades or anything like that. So let them do all the clerical work, and then when it's time to go, it's time to go. But a guy who I respect above and beyond, he doesn't write things for clicks or anything like that, is Ian O'Connor of The Athletic. He's locked in. If he writes something, you know he got it from somebody really, really reputable. Not making stuff up. And when the Dable thing went down, it was Ian who came out and said, Joe Schoen's not a sure thing for staying. He's the only one who wrote that. Now, he comes out today and writes that if Schoen wants a chance to keep his job, there's a pretty good chance that he has to win 3 of the last 4 games, right? And I scratch my head. Why would that change anything? Why would that change one thing? If he wins 3 of the next 4 games, it'll be 23, 44, and 1. The games mean nothing. The season is over. Your hand-picked head coach has been fired. The money you spent in free agency didn't work. You got guys that you drafted, Evan Neal, Deontay Banks, and Jalen Hyatt, who are essentially unplayable, and you drafted them at a high level, and you really have to scratch your head what's happening with Abdul Carter, the 3rd pick in the draft last year. Can't report to meetings on time. Sat out a series the week before, this past week on Monday night, he sat out the entire first quarter. That was your first pick this year. You can't rest your entire being on the quarterback, Jackson Dart, who, if you believe the stories, your coach kind of prodded you into making the pick. So even if they win 3 out of 4, even if they win 4 out of 4, why does that mean he should keep his job? And I'm not saying fire him. I'm saying your decision should be made by now. He's either good enough or he's not. What happens in these last 4 games mean nothing. Absolutely nothing. These are worthless games. They mean nothing. So why would that impact whether or not he's kept? That, to me, means that the ownership is out of its mind. And I don't think they're out of their mind. The last 4 games of a meaningless season, another season in the crapper, and that's going to decide or have a bearing on whether or not you keep this GM who has not done a good job. Because I've been saying this for weeks and people push back all the time. This is not a great roster. It's not a roster loaded with talent. He's had 4 years to turn it over from the team that he inherited from Gettleman. And when you look at 20, 43, and 1, most of those wins came in the first year when they went to the playoffs. Oh, yeah, with the talent that Gettleman left them. And Gettleman, according to all Giant fans, was the Antichrist. And the only winning that Dable and Schoen have done are with his players that he left them. So you've turned the roster over. You've cleaned up the salary cap situation. You let go of Barkley. You let go of McKinney. And the last 4 games are going to impact whether or not he's going to stay. Make it make sense. And if you listen to the press conference yesterday, what did he really say? Well, I appreciate the question. Yeah, I don't care if you appreciate my question. That's the new get out of jail free card when people are talking and they don't want to talk. Well, I appreciate the question. Well, I understand why you're asking that question, but I'm not going to answer it. Well, I appreciate the question, but I'm not going to. Then don't even get in front of the media if you're not going to answer questions. Again, this is my new thing that I sell. Why do we even talk to people in charge? Why? They lie to us. They obfuscate. They never give you a direct answer. They never answer totally honestly. And I kind of don't blame them, because them answering honestly, that's at loggerheads with what they're trying to do. They don't want to give away the state secrets. And I'm glad that managers have stopped telling you who's available in the bullpen. They just, I'm not telling you that, because if I'm telling you that, then I'm telling the other manager who's available in the bullpen, and he's going to manage differently. Don't even talk anymore. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Players don't say anything anymore except on their own podcast. So listen to their podcast. I don't even like having active players on. I think fans like kind of hear, well, they want to hear their voice or whatever, but what are they really telling us? What are managers really telling us? What are coaches telling us? We're on to Cincinnati. Well, I appreciate the question. Crap. It's ridiculous. Now, I got a lot of pushback with stuff that I said on Monday about the Jets winning. And I said, first of all, there's no overwhelmingly unbelievable pick that would be the number one pick in the draft that you're missing out on by winning games. And but I maybe I misspoke or didn't articulate the way I should. Here's the deal, everybody. I understand if you're a Jet fan why you want them to lose, because you want to have the best draft pick that you could have. So I think they fell from like the second or third pick to the seventh, and there's a lot more wins out there for the Jets. They can win more games, so they might even drop further. But if the Giants have the second pick and they really do believe in Jackson Dart, Jets have 5 first-round draft picks. They can move up if they want. But what I meant to say, coaches and players don't lose on purpose, especially the players. What does it behoove them to lose on purpose? Why? So they could lose their job to a high draft pick? And with Aaron Glenn, he's trying to establish, quote-unquote, a culture, another buzzword. And that culture is better suited if you win games, so people know how to win games. And he experienced that with the Lions. Remember, the Lions got off that terrible start, and then they won 7 of 8, and then the next year they were on fire. Winning breeds winning. So I get it. I'm not saying that it doesn't hurt the Jets if they win games. It does hurt them in the draft. But I'm saying you can't realistically expect a coach or players to lose on purpose. You can't. Players will never lose on purpose. It doesn't help their career. And although Aaron Glenn has a big role with the front office, and it would help him with a higher draft pick, again, this to me is a deep draft, not as deep as next year's draft's going to be, but I don't think that you're going to tank your season in order to pick Mendoza with the number one pick. I just don't think you are. So I'm not going to battle with Jet fans and say, oh, you're an idiot. Of course it's better if they lose. It is better if they lose. But you can't expect them to lose on purpose. They're not going to do it, nor should they. Nor should they. One quick thing about football. It's amazing how popular that sport is. Did you see the numbers on the Cowboys-Chiefs game on Thanksgiving? So that game was on CBS. The total number of viewers for that game, 57.2 million people. That's the highest rated NFL game in the regular season of all time. A regular season game. Now, the Chiefs have become a very popular team with all their winning and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and the like. And the Cowboys are the Cowboys, so it was a perfect storm for CBS to get a big number. But take a look at the Packers and the Lions on Fox. That was 47.7 million. Football is king. King. I mean, we were dancing in the streets, those that love baseball, of how great the rating was for Game 7 of the World Series. A tremendous World Series. What was it, about 35 million people? And if you add in Japan and if you add in Canada, it came out to 50. That was the seventh game of the World Series. This is a regular season Thanksgiving game, 57.2 million. And that's why the NFL does what it wants. They don't tell their GMs they have to talk more than just the bye week. They can do whatever they want, and we're all going to watch. That's the beauty of it. We're all going to watch. Let's go to Greg in the work truck. Greg, what's up, man?
Oh, it's going, Michael. How's everything with you?
Everything's terrific. Thank you.
I'm glad to hear that. I want to agree with something and then slightly give a different opinion about Joe Schoen. First of all, I want to agree that players and coaches aren't going to lose. As a diehard Giant fan, when fans were clamoring for the Giants to tank, no, you play to win. The same way with Jets fans, and I can't stand the Jets for the life of me, but these players aren't going to tank to lose. You play to win, and if you happen to get further down in the draft, well, then so be it. But like you said, they have all these draft picks that they could trade away and move up on the draft board.
And one thing, and I'll let you finish your point, Greg. Don and I used to always argue about it. Don would say he didn't understand fans rooting for their team to lose. That I understand. I understand fans wanting the team to lose to get the better draft pick. I don't understand how fans expect the players to want to lose. It just doesn't work that way. That's not what they're not wired that way.
No, they're not. And one more thing about that, Drew Lock last year for the Giants, he played to win, but these guys are also playing for jobs.
Right.
Now, pivoting to the Giants in this aspect, I've tried giving Joe Schoen a lot of slack, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, for whatever the reason, because of Mr. Mara's unfortunate situation where he's not feeling too well, he's battling his illness, something in me, and I could be wrong, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Joe Schoen is retained because of this situation. If Mr. Mara was in perfect health, I think he's gone at the end of the year. But because of this circumstance with Mr. Mara, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Joe Schoen is retained for this, I believe it's the final year of his contract.
Well, I mean, but you might be setting, Greg, your team back years. Now, I only wish the best for John Mara, who's an incredible gentleman, and he is battling cancer. But there are other people. I mean, Steve Tisch owns half the team too, and there's other Mara family members. There's a plan of succession, just like there was with Wellington. It was going to be John. I'm not quite sure who the next Mara would be if John stepped aside, but you can't have a leadership void because John is sick. You know, you have to do what's best for the organization. And if it's best for the organization to keep Schoen, then you keep him. You don't keep him because John is sick. I mean, that's where Tisch and Mara each own 45% of the team. And then the Koch family bought 10% of the team for $1 billion this year, which means the Giants are valued at $10 billion. But if you put the whole thing up for sale, they'd get more than that. But I would disagree that there's that void in decision-making because John is having this health battle. I think there are other Maras and the Tisch family that could step in and go, no, Joe Schoen's not going to stay. Let's go to Jerry in New Jersey. Jerry.
Michael, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Jerry?
Good. Hey, just a quick question. I don't know the answer. So when you left from broadcasting with John Sterling to go on Yes, what was your main reason?
I wanted the opportunity to be the lead guy and to try television, and it was more money too.
All right. There you go. So why are people busting on Lane for leaving for a better opportunity? They'll drop you just like they did James Franklin when you're not doing well. But yet when Lane wants to do better for himself, possibly future-wise, why do they bust his chops?
Well, I don't bust his. I bust the chops of the NCAA for putting together a system, Jerry, where you could leave before the national championship games or the college football playoffs. That's ridiculous. And also the thing that bothers me, I don't know if you feel this way. So I admit it to you right now, TV's more money than radio. But Lane Kiffin said that money had nothing to do with it. Do you believe him?
No.
See, that's the only
Absolutely
thing. I
not.
mean, Lane Kiffin, listen, I don't know the guy personally, Jer. He doesn't seem huggable to me. He's not overtly likable, and he's done stuff like this before. I mean, he left Tennessee after 1 year. 1 year. That's not quite a commitment. And I understand going someplace to better yourself. And the one thing that I don't agree with you is, you brought up, James Franklin of Penn State. They got rid of him, but he got paid. What was left in his contract, he got paid. Brian Kelly got fired by LSU. He got $54 million. So, yeah, they could fire you, but you got to get paid. But Lane Kiffin had a contract with Ole Miss. But contracts, I guess, are made to be broken. It's not like, Ole Miss scored a big money advantage from LSU because Lane Kiffin left. There's just an inequity there. To me, and I always see this with college coaches, contracts don't seem to mean anything. They don't seem to mean anything. See, my agent, when I was doing the radio, I had signed a 5-year deal. The last year I signed was a 5-year deal. And the 10th year on radio was the 4th year. The 4th year. So he put in the contract. He had the foresight to put in the contract. If a television job opens up and my client is offered that job, he has a right to leave the radio to go to the TV. If he didn't put that in, and I had a 5th year left on my contract, which I did, I couldn't have taken the yes job. And you know what? I wouldn't have taken the yes. I would never break a contract, ever. Like I'm in the middle of a multi-year deal right now. If WFAN came to me and said, we'll pay you 10 times what you're making, I'd say no. I won't take it. Because not only is my word my bond, but that contract means something too. The thing that bothers people in college sports, it doesn't seem like it's the be-all, end-all. It only protects the coach. It doesn't protect the university. And it doesn't protect the players. Pendulum swing. And the thing is, with the players, now they're getting back some of the power to the point where it's almost laughable, where they can move around with no connection, no obligation whatsoever. That's problematic. That's problematic to me. I think the NCAA, which really doesn't have any power, has to step in and put a grid together on what's right, what's wrong, how long a player has to stay, and how long a coach has to stay. Tony in Connecticut. Tony.
Hey, Michael. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Tone?
Good. I just want to make 2 comments. One, I agree with you on Jet fans. Of course, I'm a 43-year season ticket holder. Would I love the number 1 pick? Sure, but what I want to see more is progress with this new regime, which I think they have been making. Because if we start playing worse toward the end of the season, that's not a good sign. And what I like about what Aaron Glenn has done is these players are playing hard for him. That was one point I want to make. The second point is on, the coaches and management talking to media. I still think there's value for the fans to have the coach go up there and the players go up there. I'll give you an example. Like when Isaiah Williams almost made that punt return for a touchdown and he got tripped up at the end, he kind of explained, why he made the cutback. He also talked about the new receiver, AD, and how hard he works. And I think fans like to have that insight. I guess that from a team perspective and the coach perspective, they could say to the media, why are you asking us questions that would give the other team a competitive answer? A competitive advantage. We're not going to answer those questions, so why even bother asking them?
See, but Tony, what I would like is if they said that, right? Just come out and say, I'm not answering that. I mean, Aaron Boone has taken to saying, I'm not telling you who's available in the bullpen. He kind of laughs at it. And, it's unspoken. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to give the manager I'm managing against an advantage. So, yeah, sometimes you do get these little gems that help out and the fans want to hear. But when the guy doesn't speak other than on a bye week and then says, well, I appreciate you appreciate the question, just tell the truth. I don't want to answer that. Don't give me some, PR mumble jumble that somebody told you. I'll just say you appreciate the question and then don't answer it. They never answer it. So my question to you about speaking to coaches and GMs and managers, is the juice worth the squeeze? And you said, the coach is going to ask the media, why are you asking a good question that gives a competitive advantage to the other team? And if I'm the media, if I'm the person, that's my job. I don't care about a competitive advantage for the other team. I want the information for my readers or for my listeners. So everybody's at cross purposes. That's the problem. The media wants to find out stuff that you don't want them to find out. So you don't answer the question. So don't even go up there and ask. Don't even have press conferences if you know you're going to insult everybody's intelligence. Well, I appreciate the question. No, you don't. You hate the question. You don't want to answer it. Mike Lupica will join us in just a moment, his weekly spot on the Wednesday show. FanDuel is the number one sportsbook for same-game parlays. From points and rebounds to threes and assists, FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live all in one easy-to-use app. And right now is the perfect time to join because new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players you love the way you want. Head to FanDuel.com/K to sign up today. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA, 21 plus and physically present in New York. First online, real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check Kirk Herbstreit's pregame analysis first, before talking to your brother-in-law.
In this game, the key thing to watch will be the offensive line versus their front seven. If they can get pressure without blitzing, this could be a long night.
Okay, Kirk.
I know stuff.
Ooh, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Out here, pets are always by your side, watching the herd, running fence lines, or asleep at your feet. Pets are some of our favorite customers. When you bring them along to Tractor Supply, we'll always have a treat waiting. And with our price match guarantee, you'll always get the best price on their favorite food, toys, treats they love, and pet meds to keep them healthy. Tractor Supply, for pets out here.
Friends, it's football season, the best time of the year. You should be out there tailgating, cheering on your team, and enjoying every Sunday. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. You don't have to live like that. There's help. Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, and is dedicated to helping you get back in the game. Here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical image-guided procedures that deliver real results. Dr. Shaw treats neck pain, back pain, joint pain, migraines, nerve pain, and sciatica with a plan that's customized for you. Same-day and next-day appointments are available, and with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is always close. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Visit SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Most major insurances are accepted. That's SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
ZipRecruiter. Listen up, football fans. Never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Alan Hahn here to tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. They remodeled a bath in my house, converting a tub into a shower. The result, amazing. Bathfitter offers custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, durable with no demo, no mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement. Take advantage of their biggest sale of the year. Save up to $800 on a complete Bathfitter system. See their website or call for details and start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Rich Eisen here, and we're brought to you by Sonos. The holidays sound better with Sonos speakers. Whether it's a movie night that feels larger than life or the roar of the crowd as your team takes the field, Sonos helps create the moments you'll remember. Beautiful design, incredible sound, and effortless control mean you can focus on what matters most, enjoying the season. I love Sonos, and so will you. Discover how easy it is to bring every room to life with incredible sound. Explore Sonos speakers, soundbars, and more at Sonos.com.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Wednesday, 2:31, and that means it's time for Mike Lupica of the New York Daily News, MLB.com, esteemed best-selling author. He joins us every Wednesday at this time. Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Michael, how are you today?
I'm doing great. It's funny. We talked a little bit yesterday on the phone, and we were talking about Lane Kiffin and the AD of Ole Miss. Came out today and said, some of the stuff he's saying just doesn't, he didn't call him a liar, but he's essentially saying he knew and his agent knew that once he signed somewhere else, he was not going to be the Ole Miss coach in the playoffs. So what's your take on the whole Lane Kiffin situation?
I wouldn't believe Lane Kiffin if he told me water was wet, Michael, at this point. I seriously, shake hands with this guy and count your fingers. This whole thing, we talked about these yesterday. My favorite part of this, is I talked to God and God told me to go. First of all, God, we have no way to talk to God ourselves and get his version of that conversation. Do we, Michael? I don't think we do.
No, we don't have those kind of contacts.
And the idea, and you're talking to a good Catholic boy. I'm at 7:30 Mass every Sunday. I'm a former altar boy, Michael, okay? But I think, this is just my opinion, God has bigger things to worry about than whether this Yaya is going to coach at Ole Miss or Louisiana State. Do you agree?
I would agree. And I don't even understand what's the circus about. The way the rules are, he can go if he wants to go, but he wants his cake and eat it too.
Scott Van Pelt, I think we talked about this yesterday. Scott Van Pelt had a great analogy for Lane wanting to coach Ole Miss in the playoffs even after he's taken the LSU job. It would be like a husband saying, honey, I'm leaving you for my girlfriend, but for the sake of the children, I want us to all live together during the Christmas holidays. That's pretty much what Lane Kiffin wanted. And even his own players are disputing his version of things, that they were begging him to stay. No, they weren't. And it was never in play for him to coach the playoffs. It comes out now, and I believe the athletic director, that they were having a conversation about him perhaps coaching the SEC championship game if they got there. By the way, I not only believe he wanted to wait till he found out if Alabama beat Auburn on Saturday night, not because of the SEC championship game. I think in this guy's mind, he's thinking, well, wait a minute. If Kalen DeBoer loses this game and they miss the playoffs again, maybe the Alabama job could come open. And then, think about it, Michael, he could have screwed Ole Miss and LSU in the same week. And one more thing about this guy. We can have an over-under number now on when he does to LSU what he just did to Ole Miss to go to the NFL.
And he's done it before. He did it to Tennessee. I mean, a leopard doesn't change its spots. He just doesn't.
No, somebody said this the other day. There are a couple of great lines I heard. One agent told Brett McMurphy of On 3 Sports, Lane's the only guy who can try to burn a bridge while standing on it. That was, And somebody else said the most basic thing about Lane Kiffin is this. When somebody tells you exactly who they are, you need to believe them.
I mean, and when you look up the word oily in the dictionary, his picture's right there. He's kind of oily. He's not huggable, I'll tell you that.
No, and I'm telling you, he will do it to LSU the way he's done it to everybody else. The only people who didn't wait around for him to screw them was USC, and they fired him. And, oh, my God, my favorite part about this is he went to Nick Saban for advice. The Nick Saban who bailed out on the Dolphins 2 years into a 5-year contract to go to Alabama. And his other consigliere was Pete Carroll, who got the hell out of USC because he was one step ahead of the law. That was his support system, other than, of course, our creator.
And also, the thing that bothers me, and I mentioned this earlier in the show about Saban, Saban said he should be allowed to coach in the college football playoffs for Ole Miss. Saban fired him as the offensive coordinator before the national championship game because he took the Florida Atlantic job. How does that work? How could you be so hypocritical?
By the way, Michael, it's probably one of those just crazy coincidences that you get in life sometimes that Nick Saban and Lane Kiffin have the same agent in Jimmy Sexton.
Well, I just did a whole segment on that. And I mean, you have agents, whatever the case may be, book agents. They work for you. Why would you sell your soul for the agent? The agent's getting 10% of your money for doing nothing, and your opinion is gonna be shaped because of the agent. I give them too much credit for that. I really do. I don't understand why you would bend your will for an agent.
No, listen, Michael. I've had the same literary agent for over 40 years, but yes, the levels of responsibility are quite different.
Yes.
Okay, but this guy, he stands there and tries to look pious in front of the world, and I'm telling you, he is a gold-plated phony. He has been a gold-plated phony his entire coaching career. Al Davis made a lot of mistakes at the end of his life running the Raiders, but one of the biggest was making this guy his coach when he was 32 years old. And for Pete Carroll to say to him, it's what your dad would have wanted you to do. Shut up.
Now, I think the major problem, even more than Lane Kiffin, is the system that's set up in the NCAA. It's such a bad system, Mike. Now, we all love Coach Pitino. He's jumped from job to job. He even said that it's ridiculous. I mean, it has to be changed. Somehow, you can't allow coaches to leave before their teams are finished in the college football playoffs. You can't allow recruiting. Recruiting starts today for high school players. That's an early signing. It's the system that allows Lane Kiffin to Lane Kiffin.
Michael, here's the thing. They have to change the calendar. They do. But even if they change the calendar, Michael, there is no legislative body with any teeth in college sports because it's not the NCAA. For all of the flaws of the National Football League, this does not go on. But I'm refusing to give this phony a pass and act like he's some sort of victim of the calendar or the way the system is set up. No. If LSU wanted him that bad, and I know when signing day is, I get all that, okay? So they might have lost some recruits. Do you think they were not going to wait for him if he had coached out the season? Come on.
That's true. Now, I've known you for a long time. You're an unbelievable reporter. So I just want this. You don't have to tell me the truth. Did you, in fact, in putting this story together, try to get in touch with God for comment?
I did. Mike, I don't want to make a big thing out of this. I do have an inside number.
Really? That's big.
Yeah, I do. But it's like with you. I know that the phone I text you on is not your only phone. Okay, and so I feel like And please, people, we're having fun here. You know, I was an altar boy for so long. I'm a good boy.
You
okay,
are.
but I think I'm not the only one with the number. Okay, and so I finally said, the last message I left was, listen, if you don't get back to me, I'm just going to write the column the way it is now.
All right, shifting gears, what did you think of Joe Schoen's performance yesterday, where he doesn't answer questions, he just tells you he appreciates them? Is Joe Schoen long for this job?
If they listen, they actually have some games that they could win. They can't lose out and have this guy keep his job. I'm not sure why they made the decision. Here's all I know about Joe Schoen. Ownership likes him, Michael. He's given them. They just like him personally. They're buying into this notion that they do have, as he kept saying yesterday around how he appreciates the question, pieces in place. But if they have at least that many pieces in place, even without Scatterbo and even without Neighbors, okay, how come they don't win a game in the fourth quarter, even by accident? Okay, I think the mistake the Giants are going to make is they're going to keep this guy. They're going to buy into that narrative that they're knocking on the door. They're going to look at all the fourth quarter losses and say, hey, but how different would things have been if we'd won the Broncos game? These are all fair things for them to do. How different would things look if we'd won the Packers game and the Lions game after we had won the Broncos game? And we did lose our best player. And I think they're going to talk themselves into believing that they are closer than they are because they have a quarterback that we all like. And, Mike, we do like him. But does this mean he is an automatic, surefire star? I watched, obviously Drake May has more talent with him in New England, a lot more than Jackson Dart has with the Giants. But, Michael, when you watch that game on Monday night, I saw one guy who is going to be the MVP this year, and I saw a kid with a lot of potential. But to say that they have their Drake May, there looked to be a lot of green between Drake May and Jackson Dart.
Now, one thing that I don't understand, like you just brought up, that they've got to win some games. They have 4 games remaining. Why should that matter? The numbers are 20, 43, and 1. And when we talk about the weapons he has, one of the names that everybody keeps mentioning, Andrew Thomas, not drafted by him. He's also ownership of Evan Neal, Deontay Banks, Jalen Hyatt, $215 million in free agent money spent that didn't do a thing. They're having a worse season than last year. Why are you retaining him? Because they like him? I mean, there are people that like me that they're not going to let me run their company.
Michael, if you had to add it all up, and I'm not going to say that Brian Daboll had done enough to keep his job. I'm not. Nobody would say that, okay? But they're banking their whole future on this quarterback. They really are. And from everything I know, it was Daboll who was pushing the Giants to draft this kid and not Shane. Hey, Michael, I would have fired Shane for his performance on Hard Knocks. You know, I started to have my doubts about the guy then. No, he can't run on his record, Michael. He can't run on his record. And if Daboll was going to go when he went, Shane should have gone too. And I just think they didn't want to bang them both in the middle of the season. And now here we are. But listen, there was nothing he could say yesterday to defend his record. Nothing. And you could see him kind of getting steamed as the thing went along. But every question he was asked yesterday, I thought was fair. I mean, Pat Leonard of my paper went at him pretty good in a respectful way. And basically the theme of it was, what have you done to keep your job?
Right. I'm sure he appreciated the question. Yeah.
Did, Michael, he did. He clearly did. And that ought to count for something. I'm just not sure what.
I'm sure, Mike. I mean, you can see how things become things, that some PR genius has come up with that phrase. I appreciate the question. Oh, that's a good question. And they don't answer it. I don't even know why we talk to them anymore. Why do we talk to people anymore? They don't ever tell the truth.
Mike, yesterday, I appreciate the question replaced a phrase that I hate in modern life, which is this one. I appreciate you. I hate that one too.
Or on to
Appreciate
Cincinnati.
You. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Hey, Michael, I got to ask you a question before you go today.
Yep.
Now we've been friends a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to know, and we don't need to get in too deep into the weeds here, but when I once again send you a text message that ends with this or else, does that still pack a wallop with you?
It packs a wallop, and it actually it rankles me a bit. I said, wow, this guy's my friend, and he goes, or else. Like, okay, so our friendship would be over if I don't do this? It hurts. It's hurtful is what it is.
No, but here's the thing. And I've told you this before. I'm not really clear on what or else really means, Michael. I just feel it just sounds good.
Well, you know what? I'm going to pray on that and see exactly how I feel about it. See you, Mike.
Michael. See you, baby. Bye-bye.
That is Mike Lupica, so good stuff from him. We're going to finish it off with you. A lot of stuff still to talk about, and then we have Don Hahn and Rosenberg coming up as well. It is the K Show rolling on right here on ESPN New York.
Wednesday with Don Hahn and Rosenberg. Will anyone in the Giants regime survive into next year?
And obviously that was the case with what was going on with, what happened with Vrabel when he was down in Tennessee as opposed to what's happening within the New England right now, because the Giants have to try and figure out a way to get that kind of result, get that kind of chemistry, get that kind of synergy going within the walls of that building with whoever is going to be the head coach in 2026.
Don Hahn and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Ox Spine at New York Presbyterian is always in pursuit of a better way to heal the spine. We're getting more people moving again with minimally invasive, non-surgical, and surgical treatments with innovative solutions for every back and spine condition and your unique needs. Expert spine care is available now across New York City and Westchester. Find a doctor at nyp.org/oxspine. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Whether you're shopping, gaming, or streaming this Black Friday season, don't take slow for an answer. Get Optimum Fiber for the fastest, most reliable, and most consistent internet speeds. Starting at $25 a month. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com to switch. Act now and get a full year of Netflix, an unlimited mobile line, a $400 prepaid card, and more, all on us. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Optimum, don't take slow for an answer. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
The holidays are here, and Amazon Pickup is your MVP of package pickup. Need that perfect gift like a brand new jersey for the big game? With Amazon Pickup, you can grab your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule at no extra cost. It's fast, it's easy, and it keeps your holiday surprises tucked safely away. So whether you're running from work or heading to the holiday party, Amazon Pickup makes holiday shopping worry-free. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
Dave Rothenberg here to tell you about my friends at Bathfitter. They converted my kid's bath to a shower and did an incredible job. They offer custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit, and it's done in just one day. It's durable and easy to clean with no demo or mess and a lower cost than a standard replacement. Take advantage of the biggest sale of the entire year. Save up to $800 on a complete Bathfitter system. See their website or call for details and start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Some stages celebrate. This one tests everything. Every drive, every approach, every putt. Pressure builds. Resilience matters. And history waits for the bold. In June, the 2026 U.S. Open Championship returns to the Hamptons at the iconic Shinnecock Hills Golf Club. Experience the world's best golfers competing on one of the sport's most storied stages. Don't just watch greatness, experience it live at the 126th U.S. Open. Daily tickets are available now on SeatGeek.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood.
Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto, all on one platform. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. All investments involve risk, including loss of principal. Options, futures, and crypto trading carry significant risk and may not suit all investors. Securities offered through Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Futures trading is offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Crypto offered through Robinhood Crypto LLC, NMLS ID 1702840, not FDIC or SIPC protected. Portfolio management offered by Robinhood Strategies, an SEC registered advisor.
On the job, every minute counts. That's why Lowe's now has ProBlock Quick Dry Primer, expertly manufactured by Sherwin-Williams. Engineered for pros to dry fast and go on smooth for virtually flawless results that keep your job moving. It's available in oil and water-based, and getting it is easy. Order online by 2 p.m. and get free same-day delivery right to your job site. Lowe's, we help, you save. Orders placed after 2 p.m. will be delivered next day. Valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. More terms apply.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Welcome back to the show. So a lot of Yankee fans have contacted me. So what do you think about the comments that Sonny Gray made? You know, Sonny Gray was traded from the Cardinals to the Red Sox, and he said, I'm paraphrasing, I'm glad that I'm at a place where it's acceptable and easy to hate the Yankees. So, I mean, what do you want me to say about that? He's gone to the perfect place for him to say that. He didn't like his time here. It makes total sense. This guy's a top-flight pitcher who was far from that when the Yankees got him from the A's. He went on to Cincinnati and kind of saved his career and then pitched well for the Cardinals. And now the Red Sox, he'll pitch this year. I mean, I can't imagine Yankee fans getting upset at him. I mean, again, he's in the perfect place to say you hate the Yankees, right? So I get it. I mean, it didn't move my needle. I'm wondering if it moved a lot of Yankee fans' needles. Kind of odd. The one thing that I would never do as an athlete, why would you make yourself bulletin board fodder? So why would you say something like that? So when you take them out at Yankee Stadium, they're just going to excoriate you. And whether or not you believe that players use bulletin board fodder, I'm sure to be brought up in the pre-meeting with the Yankees. Oh, he hates the Yankees. Again, why put yourself in the crosshairs when you don't have to? Again, it didn't affect me whatsoever, but he didn't have a good time here. He did not have a good experience. So, of course, he's going to say that. But I give credit. The internet never forgets. You know, when he came to the Yankees, he talked glowingly about how he was so happy to be here. You know, they only want to win. Sounds a lot different all these years later. But, again, he said that before his Yankee experience, which didn't turn out the way he wanted it to and the way the Yankees wanted it to. And he said, you know, he never wanted to come to the Yankees. He didn't sign with the Yankees as a free agent. He was traded to them. So he didn't choose to come there, and he didn't choose to go to Boston. He was traded there, although he had a no-trade clause, and he did waive it, got a raise to waive it. We'll see how he does with the Red Sox. Game Time, brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 7 p.m., the Devils host the Stars at the Prudential Center with Don LaGreca on the mic on MSG. 7:30, the Knicks host the Hornets at Madison Square Garden. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. right here on 880 ESPN. 8 p.m., the Nets are in Chicago to play the Bulls. That will be seen on the Yes Network, as will our first Hot Stove show. Me, Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, and Cam Schlittler in studio, and that'll start at 6:30. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew. Try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Chris Paul released. So some players don't really note the passage of time. So Chris Paul was very vocal about what was wrong with the Clippers, and he and the coach, Ty Lue, they didn't speak. over the last couple of weeks. He became persona non grata in the Clipper universe. It's the last year of his illustrious career, and he wanted to finish it with the Clippers, and they just bagged him and released him. And my point is that players don't note the passage of time. He's not CP3 anymore. He's just another player. He's not even an average player anymore. So you got to kind of hold your tongue and not be that tough, not be that hard-nosed. So it's kind of odd that he did that, but he certainly did. I've been meaning to say this. Anybody ever watch the Jennifer Hudson show? And they have this stuff where they knock on the dressing room door, and all the people that work on the show, they line the wall and they like sing and everything, and then you have to dance down with a camera following you as you go on stage. And I've come to the conclusion it's the cringiest thing I've ever seen. And anybody who's on that show that wants to do that and doesn't think they look like an absolute nozzle, I'd like to talk to them. You could see everybody just hates it. Everybody just cringes at it. Why would you put your guest in such an uncomfortable situation to be dancing down the aisle of a hallway with people cheering and hooting and hollering? I don't get it. Something that bothered me, and I wanted to talk about it for a long time, and I finally did. We'll be back again tomorrow at 1. I can't wait. We've got so much to do. We'll talk a lot of football as well. In the words of Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for goodbye again. See everybody. Have a wonderful day. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg next.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get